Japanese Imperial Forces. What happened during that span of time? After Pearl Harbor, he became America's most wanted. Isoroku Yamamoto killed in Bougainville during Operation Vengeance. TVWAN presents a TVWAN production, In Search of Yamamoto's Sword, the Papua New Guinea story, coming soon.
Hello and welcome. This is TV1 Midday News. I'm Rex Litter. Member for Kiruku Open Peter Namea Iso Aimo is set to officiate at two significant programs today. The first event is at St. Patrick's Primary School in Yule Island, where Iso Aimo will inaugurate a teacher's high covenant house and a new double classroom. The 300,000 kina double classroom project, funded by the Kiruku DDA board, was initiated in 2022. The project aims to enhance educational resources and support for the island's students and educators. The member will also visit the Namanama TVET program in Nikura Aravure village, where he will commemorate the completion of another double classroom. This facility, funded by the Kiruku DDA board, at a cost of 300,000 kina, was initiated by the late Catholic priest Father Peter Miria. A three-day forum which commenced on Monday in Port Moresby to review project indicators followed the signing of the MOU for the Impact Health project between the National Department of Health as the implementing government agency and the Provincial Health Authority of East New Britain, East Sepik, Central and Simbu, which recently replaced ENGA. The Impact Health project is a US $30 million result-based project funded by the World Bank in partnership with the government of PNG.
More than 50 representatives from the National Department of Health, World Bank and 4 provincial health authorities convened to discuss the implementation progress and updates of the Impact Health, improving access to and value from health services in PNG project. The forum conducted a review of the project indicators called Disbursement Link Indicators, following the signing of the MOU for the Impact Health project between the National Department of Health and the PHAs of East Sepik Province, East New Britain, Central and Simbu. 3 primary areas of difficulty which aim to be addressed by Impact Health project include service delivery, health finance and governance. Deputy Secretary Public Health Ken Wise said the Impact Health project aims to reverse the downward trend in healthcare delivery that has been caused by a lack of attention to underserved and rural regions, as well as an excessive emphasis on treatment rather than prevention. The primary issues that Impact Health aims to help address in terms of service delivery are the low number of outreach patrols, the quality of services, and the reduction in the coverage of vital health care, especially at the primary health care level. The program's objectives in terms of health finance are to reduce delays in cash transfers to the front lines and enhance public financial management capabilities within the healthcare industry. Good leadership and cooperation from provincial members, the district development authorities, and the provincial administration will be needed. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
Small, medium and micro enterprises say that better access to finance will deliver the biggest boost to the business, according to one of the biggest ever studies of the sector in PNG. This survey was commissioned by Australia to support the government of Papua New Guinea, with its goal to pursue policies that spur micro, small and medium enterprise sector growth. The MSME and informal sector survey's findings show that easier access to loans, credit and other finance would be the most effective change to improve businesses. The survey of 2,621 enterprises across 21 provinces found that more than 56% experienced difficulties getting a loan, including almost a 31% saying it was a major obstacle to doing businesses. The MSMEs surveyed said more could be done to unlock the growth potential, with 60% of respondents to the survey stating that having improved access to finance is among the top 3 of a wish list of most helpful changes that would be made. Book-Belong Pikinini visited 9 Mile LLC recently, where the children enjoyed a unique book week activity sponsored by Monia and Hebo Constructions. The activity featured a role-playing simulation of boarding and traveling with PNG Air. Dressed in mini uniforms, the kids took on various aviation roles such as engineers, pilots, co-pilots, air hostess and air traffic controllers. They meticulously checked a model plane, operated flight controls and managed the flight's progress. The simulation included a realistic boarding process with check-ins, security checks and in-flight refreshment, provincial by Supreme Industries. PNG Air representative Dalai Thomas praised Book-Belong Pikinini for their dedication and reiterated PNG Air's commitment to supporting their literacy programs across PNG. The event was memorable, highlighting the importance of PNG Air's partnership in enhancing healthy children literacy and making books accessible throughout the country. Up to 180,000 new parents could benefit from proposed legislations that would pay superannuation on top of paid parental leave. It passed. The new laws could ensure parents taking time off to care for their children won't fall behind on their superannuation.
It will apply, if the laws pass, to anyone who has a baby after July 2025. So they will be able to have superannuation paid on top of their paid parental leave. As you say, this is expected to affect 180,000 families per year, and it will cost the government $1.1 billion over the forward estimates. Now, under the current program, a couple with a newborn or a newly adopted child can access 22 weeks of paid parental leave. That will extend to 26 weeks in 2026. And so now superannuation would be able to be paid on top of that. This is a measure that the Labor government has wanted to do for some time, and it's something they say is a policy really for women, because women still are the majority carers of children. They still are the people who take more time away from work, and therefore they end up further behind. Research says sometimes 25% behind men on their retirement savings when they reach that. Here is Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth announcing this policy a short time ago.
This is a really significant reform to ensure that those receiving the government-paid parental leave not only get the support at the time of a newborn baby, but also don't miss out on their retirement savings in the form of superannuation.
And over time, it's going to make a substantial impact on women's retirement incomes, which we know is part of our agenda about addressing gender inequality and making sure that we're doing everything we can to drive the economic empowerment of women.
The coalition has previously expressed some support. There is some conjecture within the party about whether or not they fully support this policy, but in general they have expressed support, so it will be interesting to see what happens when that goes through Parliament.
The Pacific Islands Forum has postponed a planned monitoring mission to New Caledonia. The delegation, involving 3 prime ministers, had intended to visit the French Pacific dependency before next week's Pacific Island Forum in Tonga. The mission would have allowed forum leaders to directly engage with diverse perspectives from supporters and opponents of independence in New Caledonia, after 3 months of protests and clashes between Kanak independence activists and French police. But on Wednesday morning, Forum Chair Prime Minister Mark Brown of Cook Islands announced the delay of the mission until a mutually agreed time after next week's forum in the Kingdom of Tonga, which starts on August 26th. The New Caledonia government has identified a number of issues regarding due process and protocols that will need to be addressed prior to a Troic visit. For people with Afro-textured hair, finding a hairdresser with the expertise to cut and style it can be a challenge. Many salons only specialize in loose hair texture, prompting stylists to call for more hairdressers to learn the skill.
Patch Dionisio is a specialist in the hairdressing trade. She's a coily hair expert.
What are we gonna do today?
Cut and refine.
Born and raised in Brazil, she moved to the city late last year where she found a gap in the hairdressing industry.
When I got here, it was so easy to find a job because they don't have like hairdressers with the knowledge to do our type of hairs.
Experts say the reason why salons don't cater to textured hair is due to a lack of education.
For some of the stylists out there, we simply don't get the practice, the experience, nor do we have the confidence to do that kind of hair.
Now salons are taking matters into their own hands, ditching the flawed training courses and using their time and money to train their stylists to do all types of hair, regardless of how coily it is. The owners of Ella and Jade Salon spent thousands in providing in-house training to their apprentices, so they know how to cut and style Afro-textured hair. Director Alana Reid says the approach guarantees all their clients are catered for.
We don't have textured hair ourselves, so for clients to come in and actually trust us, we've had to really build that to get to a point where we are servicing texture every day.
Actress Perry Mooney says it took some convincing to try out the salon, but she now feels she's in good hands.
You not sense the stress from the hairdresser that's looking after you, that they're like, oh, I've not really dealt with this before, I don't know how to handle it. Like, being able to sit here and go, I'm all right, is like a massive thing.
Experts say new training packages will soon roll out across the country, equipping stylists with up-to-date training to ensure everyone gets a good cut.
That's the news at 12. Join us for more news and sports at 6 p.m.